Okay.
Oh, wait, I got to take a leak.
No, we're on.
I'll be in a second.
Okay. Yep. I know. Yep. We will start the meeting shortly. I apologize.
Max quit.
Okay, this meeting of the zoning board is called to order. It's February 14th, 2024, and the first floor of the Ascension Parish Courthouse. Item 1, meeting is now called to order. Thank you for everybody joining us. Item 2, roll call of members. All members are present with the exception of Commissioner Dumas. Item 3, introduction of staff. Ms. Baker.
Jamaica Banker, Zoning Secretary.
Jerry's Carey, IT.
Spencer Long, Parish Attorney.
Eric Poche, Director of Planning and Development.
Lance Brock, zoning official.
Thank you all very much. Item 4, the minutes. The acceptance of minutes for the January 10th, 2024 Zoning Commission meeting. Commissioners, do we have any comments about the minutes? Do we have any motion? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Kluwat, second by Commissioner Villa. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 5, Chairman's comments. The Chairman has no comments for tonight. Item 6, we're going to open up a public hearing to amend the Ascension Parish Development Code for recommendation for the approval or denying to the Ascension Parish Council for zoning review ID PZ 3335.24 Telecad wireless vertical bridge on behalf of Household of Faith Church Incorporated, located on the west side of Airline Highway, approximately 4700 south of South Pepera Avenue, to request a conditional use to construct a new telecommunications tower. So do we have anybody from the applicant here to present?
Good evening. Laura Carlisle with the law firm of Baker Donaldson on behalf of the applicant, Vertical Bridge, which would be constructing the proposed tower. We submitted the full application, also some supplemental materials, and we tried to do it as efficiently as possible by resubmitting some on February 1, so you had them all in one place. So we're here requesting a conditional use permit for the construction of a 190-foot monopole. Address is approximately 10469 Airline Highway. It's on property owned by the Household of Faith Church, currently zoned mixed-use corridor. Senior Pastor Bledsoe is here as well. I promised him he wouldn't have to say anything unless y'all had questions, but he is here and happy to answer any questions. Also have Landon Holloman, who was in charge of making the application, doing site acquisition. In terms of the justification, because I know there's going to be some questions about the number of towers in the area already, this tower is what's essentially designed to serve a capacity issue in the issue. So you've got your current coverage right here, and this is also in the packet. The proposed tower is right here. Blue is poor coverage, green is generally coverage outside, yellow's in a car, red's your highest level of coverage, it's inside coverage. Mm-hmm. This is what the proposed tower would give you. So you're seeing it's filling in the gap here between Brittany and Gonzales, and it's really trying to design to offload capacity from overburdened towers that you've got right here at Fay Lane and Worthy Road. So it's trying to fill in this network is the design of the tower. The proposed tower meets all requirements of your local ordinance. That'd be section 17-2043 of your development code, and of most interest usually is it meets all your setback requirements, it meets your height restrictions, and it meets your co-location requirements. It also meets fencing, buffing requirements, aesthetic things of that nature. So we are requesting approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. We're going to open up a public hearing on this. Ms. Baker, do we have anybody here to speak?
No one signed up.
Okay, in that case, we will close the public hearing. First thing, staff, do we have any comments to address on this?
No, sir, other than she's correct. They met all the requirements for submittal.
Okay. In that case, I will open up to the commission. Anybody who has any questions, feel free to let me know. Commissioner Nasser.
I do have, it's not so much questions as it is a general comment. And that is, we received this package 7 days ago, of which 2 days were the weekend and 1 day was Mardi Gras, if you support Mardi Gras. And this packet is this thick. And there are some general standards that are shown in this that I think there's a specific necessity to understand and evaluate items A, B, C, D, and E. There's a rezoning application of which, to me, it seems like it's not completely filled out, so there could be some missing information. There's also a adjacent property owners form that has no names on it of adjacent property owners. I assume there are adjacent property owners,
They're not.
adjacent to the 50-foot lot.
The Household of Faith owns all the adjacent properties.
That's correct.
Well, okay, I wish that would have been on the form, because I would have known it. But thank you. There's a 9-page attorney letter, I assume it's from you,
It is?
that states a lot of things, and I guess it's up to us to just assume that you're correct in all of your judgment. I mean, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an engineer, but I would like to have had time to review that. There's 15 sheets of engineering information, not to address the engineering specifically, because again, I'm not an engineer, but there are 85 notes on the engineering drawings to digest it's on the first pages of the engineering. And even though I'm not speaking from a technical evaluation standpoint, those drawings are meant to provide a lot of information to us, which I just didn't really have time to review those. There's a letter from Vertical Bridge that was included. You got to review and assess the statements made. There are all these aerials that are color-coded like the one you just showed us, which I didn't find a key on it so that I could understand what all those colors meant. And then beyond that, there were some terms like NSB, notated as LTGE coverage without NSB. I don't know what that means. And I couldn't find an explanation of that anywhere. And then there are 2 other large-scale aerial exhibits that have substantial information. I guess it's got a radius on it and some other locations. All I'm saying is that in 4 days, I didn't have time to digest all of this and develop my opinion. So myself, at this point in time, I'm not prepared to make a recommendation to the parish council on this. That's just my opinion. It just wasn't time. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I'm not saying I'm for it. What I'm saying is, I didn't have time to digest all this material. It's a lot.
I appreciate, I would like to address, so the back history on this. This application was originally submitted on December 12th. And at that time, it was submitted with the cover application. It was submitted with the extensive drawings. It was submitted largely as you see it here. There was some back and forth with Mr. Brock. We provided some supplemental information. It was actually set for hearing before this department last month in January. We actually requested a deferral because we thought the maps would be helpful to explain the other towers in the area. We wanted to provide a narrative, so it's a little bit easy, so you're not having to call through and understand things. We did that. We reached out to Mr. Brock. We were given a deadline to file it, to provide it. So maybe we shouldn't have provided again to you, but I wanted to provide everything in one place so you didn't have to go picking through the file. But this application has been pending for now 2 months, and we were working closely with the parish and diligently to provide the additional information that the parish wanted.
Well, we just got it 7 days ago, as I said, and, you know, I appreciate the staff. We have a very professional staff, and I trust them. But still, we have to make the decision. You know, that's on us as commissioners. So, I mean, every applicant that comes up says they've addressed everything, whether it's zoning or it's planning. You know, we addressed everything is perfect, and then we end up having a lot of questions to make sure that it's perfect. So I'm not in any way meaning to, you know, to criticize, impugn your capabilities, your integrity, nor that of your professional partners on this. You know, it's just, to me, I just didn't have enough time. And maybe that's my fault. But I didn't have enough time, and I'm not prepared to make a decision.
Okay. Mr. Brock?
Yeah, I wanted to state that this is a conditional use, so there's no recommendation. You make that decision, so whatever decision that the zoning commission makes, that's where it stops. This is a conditional use. They're not asking for a rezone.
Okay. Mr. Miller?
Our ordinances ask that if possible, with a co-location on existing towers, and your application states that there's 2 existing towers within that area that would be able to satisfy our requirements as well as your own. Is there any reason why you cannot use one of the 2 existing towers? I know 3 of them you said are outside of that coverage area, but 2 are within that zone and would satisfy.
Sure, that's a great question. That's unique. AT&T's already on those towers. So this is not a coverage issue that they're trying to address. It's a capacity issue from those towers. AT&T does not intend to move off of those towers. It just needs an additional tower to take on some of the burden. So that's why co-location is not possible on the ones that already exist.
And a modification of those existing towers
Not
would not
according to our
satisfy
engineers.
the needs?
Not according to our engineers.
Do you have anything that would back that up from your engineers? That
We
says that
have
we
the-
can't use that tower?
Sure, we have the RF propagation maps. I mean, this doesn't come in a vacuum, but
Right.
these are the needs they need to address.
Okay. My second concern is that the 225-foot strike zone is within the existing school building that, Pastor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where your small children, aftercare and whatnot is right there. I don't know if I'm comfortable having a tower, 200-something feet, lying inside the kids' playground.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
If you don't mind, please come up there.
Have you seen the map that we have that shows that?
Excuse me?
Have you seen the map that we have in the application that shows the strike zone and the proximity to your building, your school building?
What exactly do you mean by the strike zone? If it fell?
Correct, yeah, there's a 225-foot setback that they're required to have that distance away from existing,
Again, I'm a pastor, not an engineer, but my understanding is that the design of the tower is such that it's a safe distance from anything, because we ask those questions as well.
okay.
I can address that as well. There is an engineering letter we submitted, and the pastor's exactly right. This is engineered to, in the unlikely event of a wind event or a failure, to collapse in on itself. So it will fall completely within the 5550 leased compound. It's actually designed to have a 0% fall radius.
Hi, if I could
Go
jump
ahead.
in here. My name is Landon Holloman. My address is 4811 Tealwood Court in Baton Rouge. As Laura stated, I was the site acquisition agent that found the church and negotiated the deal with them. And Mr. Miller, if I could address your question, the proposed tower location is outside the 225-foot fall zone radius. It's like
Come a little bit closer to the microphone,
It's
please.
like 265 or 270 feet, so that should not be applicable.
The school is outside of?
Yes,
Okay.
the school building is outside the
Yeah,
225
I
foot.
see the building itself, but I just know from experience that that particular area is where they have their playground. And
Right.
So,
Right, we did place the tower to where it would meet that setback requirement of 100% of the height of the tower plus 30 feet.
right.
It's a 195-foot monopole, so that's 225 feet, and we do meet that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other commissioner requests? Okay.
Quick question. So everything's provided to us in the packet. It's a matter of enough time to digest and consume and make an educated, decision on it, correct? So,
For me, yes.
yeah, okay.
And as Mr. Brock stated, this is our conditional use, so this is not a recommendation to the council. This is our choice on this. So in that case, we have one of two actions that we have to take, an approval or denial. Or the applicant could defer, but that would be the only other option, so. So do we have, okay, Commissioner Nasser.
I'm just gonna go ahead and state my opinion, is because I don't feel that I've had an opportunity to digest this properly, and, I take these responsibilities seriously. I'm not in a position where I can vote for it. I hate to vote against it, but I can't vote for it because I haven't absorbed all the information. And again, that may be my problem, but it's the fact.
Would the applicant be willing to consider coming back next month for a revisit on this?
We'd be happy to defer it.
Okay. If the applicant is so willing, then I would entertain a motion to accept the deferral.
Make a motion to accept the applicant's request to defer until the next
Zoning meeting.
zoning meeting.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the applicant's request for deferral to the next zoning meeting by Commissioner Nasser, second by Commissioner Miller. All in favor? Aye. Do we have any opposed? None opposed? That motion passes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is staff report.
No report.
No report. One thing to mention before we adjourn, this is likely one of our wonderful commissioners' last meeting. Mr. Tommy Knoll, thank you so much for your public servants. We really do appreciate you. You stepped in, and it's been a pleasure serving with you, so we wish you the best of luck. So on that, adjourn. Thank you.